see. Oh, sorry.
Oh, I like said yes. Thank
Can you
you.
hear it now? Yeah.
So I have it set kind of chronologically.
Okay.
Um,
Is it like what she did for FCAM, where she showed the different things that were coming up?
kind of. So
Okay.
is there an echo?
Did you hear that? Okay.
Yeah. There. Hello. Okay. Think we're good.
Why does it say talking?
Oh, because it's picking up this
Okay.
this mic, which is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah. All right. Oh, we can
Chronologically.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to talk about waste sharing. We'll talk about Fall Research Day, posters, and then meeting of the minds after that.
Okay.
So I'll just have you jump in for meeting of the minds.
Mm-hmm. And you just have a generic slide in there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think I did like the logo, some pictures, and like a little description.
Do we have a QR? I'm sorry, I should have looked, but I was in a bunch of meetings today.
No, I gotcha. Same.
Do we have a QR code in there for them to apply?
I think so. I was also going to show them.
If not, it's on the website.
I was going to show them just like the website.
Yep. No worries. We'll make it work. I'm not worried.
We'll get them there.
Yeah, I'm not worried.
I also added the link to our link tree.
Mm-hmm.
So it says like meeting of the minds application.
Okay.
And then
cool.
Yeah.
Did we get a lot of traffic on Linktree?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm ready to go home. I feel like I've done nothing but everything today.
Nothing but everything that you needed to do.
Yeah. Like it's not putting out fires, but like it's just been one task after another.
Uh-huh. I heard when both of them were asking you for things today. Like I had my headphones on, but I know I also needed something. And Kristen did something. Oh my God, you poor thing.
It's fine at all. I'm like, I know you guys are stressed, so like my stuff is.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate what happened today, but
yeah,
that was not cool.
No, I mean, I think everybody was able to see like.
Were they?
No. I don't know.
I hope.
Because the whole time I was like.
I was like, she has no idea what's happening.
Cool. Oh, great. So it's just about 3 now. I think I'm gonna wait like 2 more minutes just to see if we get anybody else in Zoom. But in the meantime, welcome everybody. I'm Wendy Cook, I'm the Outreach and Events Coordinator here at the Center for Undergraduate Research and Academic Engagement, or the CRE for short. And with me today is Liz Gillum.
Hi.
And we'll be presenting Share Your Research, where we'll talk about different conference opportunities, funding opportunities as well. So thank you all for taking your time out of your day to join us. And then for those of you on the Zoom now, we will be sharing the presentation, and for you in person, if you don't mind signing the sign-in sheet, we'll make sure we email you with the different deadlines, different links that we discussed, and then of course this presentation, just if you want to reference back to it. And yeah, we'll get started shortly. We also have some flyers there if you'd like to take some. Are you teaching your class today, Ellie?
Yeah, I teach that for.
Oh, okay, so
Yeah, so right.
you're just gonna hang out here.
Yeah, but we're gonna put the same like.
Alrighty. Cool. So we'll go ahead and get started. So like I said, we're with the Center for Undergraduate Research and Academic Engagement. We're a team of 8. And so we're kind of the centralized hub for students doing undergraduate research, whether that's being involved in one of our programs, or getting funding or any other type of assistance. Just a quick overview of what we'll be discussing today. So we'll be introducing the importance of sharing your research, as well as talking about upcoming opportunities, and then just wrapping up with some conference tips. So why share your research? So, of course, we're all contributing to that, bank of knowledge. We want to develop our communication skills, so being able to explain our findings clearly into broad audiences is important. Building confidence, of course, as you go and share your ideas, you become more and more confident in, speaking publicly and as well as speaking with others within the profession, and others that might not know. So you're definitely growing that confidence and, like I said, communication skills. It's great. It's a great way to get feedback. So I know some of you may be doing an honors in the major project. This type of feedback might help spark other ideas. And lastly, to inspire others. So being able to have students see themselves within you all as you're presenting, definitely helps us expand, for future researchers. So really important to share research. And then the importance of conferences. What do we gain when we go to a conference? So of course, definitely networking opportunities. It's a chance for you to meet students within your field or other undergraduate researchers, as well as faculty who may be, in the future as you're applying to like graduate programs or anything like that. Those are great networking connections that you can make, as well as professionals and anybody else that shares your interests. I know with a lot of the honors in the major projects, it's kind of sometimes a little niche area that you're studying. But being able to connect with others that kind of have that same interest is very important. And as you grow your network, whether that's, expanding through LinkedIn or anything like that, that'll definitely bring about more opportunities for yourself. And then professional development, of course, when you present at conferences, this adds another line that you can add to your CV or your resume. Again, you can list what you're learning, communication skills, professional skills, and all of that. Definitely great experiences to list. And then lastly, exposure to new ideas. So I know every conference I attend, I come back with, oh, okay, that was interesting. That's something I want to explore again or explore further. Or, oh, I didn't know somebody was, doing research within kind of the same topic as me, but taking a different approach. So again, exposure to new ideas, hearing about cutting edge research that's happening within your field or across other disciplines. And so to talk about some of the opportunities that we have here at FSU, like I said, we do have our annual undergraduate research symposium, which everybody's welcome to apply, as long as you're an undergraduate researcher. And coming up, we do have our virtual fall research day. This has been a very popular event within the last couple of years, just post-COVID. But we do host the summer and the fall virtual research day. And these are interdisciplinary presentations We do give priority to students that are graduating this fall, or that'll be graduating potentially in the spring. Of course, honors in the major and some garnet and gold students that need to fulfill that requirement. But although these students do have priority, we do allow other students that want to present their research, and the research doesn't need to be completed. If it's still a work in progress, that's fine. The deadline is coming up quickly, Monday, October 27th. Thankfully, it's a very short application. Really, we just want title, abstract, research mentor, and then of course your personal information. But it's a very low stakes application, and the event typically runs about an hour and a half. Like I said, projects vary from last year we had AI in business to sideshow or circus bands. So definitely diverse set of topics, and we try to stack them so that, you know, we get like a STEM project and a fine arts project or a creative arts project. So if you scan the QR code, it should take you to the application. But any questions about Fall Research Day? Yeah. So these will be oral presentations. So we ask that you use Google Slides, Canva presentations, or PowerPoint presentation. Typically, or some students have kind of condensed their poster into like one slide will be methods, the other slide will be, you know, results. So nothing super elaborate. The presentations usually last, depending on the number of presenters, anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes, with usually 2 minutes at the end for questions. For Fall Research Day, it's a broad audience, so we invite, you know, everybody in the HSS building as well as the general public to attend. We get a lot of Europe students that attend Fall Research Day, so, you know, just that's kind of the audience. But we also, you know, we ask our presenters to invite their friends, family, their research mentors, and anybody working in their lab. So, good questions. Any other questions about Research Day? And like I said, we do host one in the summer as well. That's typically around July. So, you know, if you're thinking maybe not Fall Research Day yet, but something in the fall, definitely keep that in mind. And we don't have an exact time of when we'll be hosting Fall Research Day, but it will be on Wednesday, November 19th. For the past couple years, it has been in the middle of the day, so, but we work around student schedules. And then this year, we'll be hosting the Florida Undergraduate Posters at the Capitol. This is hosted by the Florida Undergraduate Research Association. We select 3 students from FSU. The dates for this presentation are going to be Monday, January 26th and Tuesday, January 27th. This is typically more of, well, it's a prestigious event. And we try to select different topics. So last year we had zombie communities, we had a STEM project, and we also had a student presenting on Florida families. So kind of varied topics. The Monday before, so the actual event presenting at the Capitol will be Tuesday, January 27th. And that'll be during the day. We will offer newsletters for any classes that you missed. But the night before, Monday the 26th, we'll host a dinner where we have students coming from different institutions within Florida. So those students will be up in the Great Hall. We'll host a dinner for you all. And then we'll host a presentation or a practice presentation. So we'll have your posters up where you'll get a chance to, you know, practice your elevator pitch, talk to other Florida undergraduate students. Some of the institutions that'll be attending: UF, FIU, UCF, UNF, UWF. So it's a great chance to network again and meet students. Last time we hosted it every 2 years, so something to keep in mind. So in 2024, when we hosted it, we had 2 students that had similar projects but were in different institutions, so they were able to connect and kind of talk about, you know, overlaps within their research. So it's a great chance, like I said, to network. And the application is due October 30th. Like I said, it'll be hosted here. in Tallahassee at the Capitol. And just keep these dates in mind. If you are interested, we also are hosting one of the requirements will be to attend, an outreach training. Because we do want you all to invite your representatives, and get that exposure as well, so. Just a little bit more information about, the event itself. Like I said, we do select 3 students from each institution. It's a great way for you to connect with your representatives and gain some insight into the political process. We want to focus on outreach efforts. So how can we, for example, if our project directly relates to Florida, or issues, within Florida, how do we leverage that to connect with local and state leaders? Like I said, we're accepting applications from all majors and disciplines, but we do have a preference for honors in the major and culminating projects like that. And then, like I mentioned, some of the expectations for selected students, you'll be representing FSU. There'll be an outreach networking training and dinner on that evening of Monday the 26th. The actual event will be Tuesday, January 27th from 9 to 12. This year we're hosting a lunch, so we'll be meeting with the different student presenters again during lunchtime to kind of wrap up. And just another reminder, that application is October 28th. And just to talk about the application process, so when you go on our, you can see it, our website, fsu-cre.snaply.us, you'll see different applications. Here's the posters at the Capitol. So when you open it up, you'll see this on your screen. You'll click, please fill out this form. You'll answer, personal questions. And then if you're involved in any program, you'll check off the programs. If you're involved in multiple, just select other and list the different programs that you're involved in. We do ask for an abstract, so that's 150 to 250 words. We ask that you summarize what your project is about. It doesn't have to be necessarily your final abstract. You will have a chance to edit, since the event isn't until January. So just keep that in mind. And then we'll ask for a biography, 75 to 150 words. Written in third person, just, letting us know who you are as a student, what your goals are, stuff like that. And then there's an area in the application too for you to provide a 1 to 2 sentence description, just kind of highlighting the significance of your research, and how it connects or impacts any issue relevant to the state of Florida. It doesn't necessarily need to connect to something with Florida, but if you do see a connection, fill that out. And then lastly, we ask you why you want to present. So again, this is where you can touch on, building those communication skills, that professionalism, learning about how to advocate for yourself, like outreach, and stuff like that. So be sure to include that here. I would say these 2 carry a lot of weight, so make sure that you're expanding on these 2 questions here. And then lastly, once you fill that out, you'll go ahead and hit submit. And then it'll pop up another window, you'll hit submit again. And then you'll get an email letting you know that your application has been submitted. So definitely look out for that email, because we have had students that haven't clicked the second submit. And so we don't want you to miss out on the opportunity. And then I'm here. Have Liz take over and talk about Meeting of the Minds.
Hey, everybody. So Meeting of the Minds is a really exciting opportunity. As you know, FSU is a part of the ACC, the Atlantic Coast Conference. And the ACC really focuses on athletics, but they've got a certain subsect where they focus on academics. And so every year, the Meeting of the Minds conference takes place at a different ACC school that rotates. And this year, we're hosting it. So we'll be here this year in April. 5 students are selected to present either through poster presentations or oral presentations. And the application for that is, you follow that QR code and it'll take you to the application. There is a requirement of a letter of recommendation from your research mentor. So this one is looking for independent research, or research that you want to complete or that you are completing, but you also need the mentored research. So you want to do that. It has a recommendation letter requirement. However, we're having some trouble with that with Snapply. So go ahead and apply. We'll still be able to see on the back end that you've applied. If there's a problem, we'll let you know, hey, you didn't get your letter, something's going on. Have your mentor fill a letter directly to us. We will communicate with you, but still apply. Now, since it's not until April, applications aren't due until January 29th. So you have time to find a mentor, to start a project, to get on it. You have time to get it in now and set it and never think about it again. You have time to do whatever you would like to do to get ready for Meeting of the Mind. But it is an entire weekend conference in April. The Friday night, there was going to be a student reception and a faculty reception for everyone. Saturday is a full day of research. It's going to be in these rooms, and then upstairs in the Great Hall, there's going to be, like I said, poster presentations, oral presentations. There's going to be a luncheon in Dodd Hall. And then that evening, we're going to have dinner at the stadium, and then we're going over to the circus. So it's really a chance to give everybody who is coming down here a taste of the FFB, but also some of our students who may not have had the chance to do all that stuff yet. There's going to be walking tours of Cascade Park that we're going to do. We're trying to go to the Junior Museum. We're trying to just give a brief taste of it and have a really fun weekend. So Meeting of the Minds is a really cool thing. If you don't want to do it this year, or you try to do it this year and something doesn't work out, your timing or whatnot, it's every year we take 5 students and 1 sponsor. And so next year, I am not entirely certain where it's going to be next year, but it'll be at another ACC school. They rotate every year. We're just doing it this year, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're really excited about that. It's a really great opportunity, and we want to show them the best of what we've got here since they're coming down here. So ACC Meeting of the Mind is a really great one, and if you have any questions about it, you can always come find me, because we're definitely putting that together in a really, really exciting time.
And that application is also on the SurveyMonkey website that I mentioned.
You have to go through the link because we have it.
Oh.
I think it should
Is it
be
hidden?
visible. It should not be hidden. There it is, right
Yeah,
there.
there.
Look at that. So yeah, it says you need a letter of recommendation. It will allow you to turn in your part of it. So don't worry about that. Yep, there you go. So don't worry about that. But January 29th rather is the deadline. If you got any questions, want us to look it over, any of that, just let us know. Let me know. And I'm happy to do that. Any questions about anything? Great.
And I know I kind of skipped over questions for postings at the Capitol, but any questions for postings at the Capitol? No? Okay. Anything in the chat? No, good. Okay.
Exciting. How does that go?
How do I minimize
How
that?
do you do that?
Awesome. And every year we also we haven't hosted for in a few years, but we do send students to the Florida Undergraduate Research Conference, or FURC. This upcoming spring semester, it'll be hosted by the University of North Florida in Jacksonville. That'll be March 6th through 7th. And right now we don't have the application is not open yet. But the deadline to submit an abstract is going to be December 5th. So you'll submit an abstract to UNF to apply to present at the conference. And then we have our separate application for funding. So that can be, what is it? Well, actually, let me show you all a recap of the last year's FURC, I guess this year. So that's kind of an overview of the event itself. So there's different workshops that are hosted throughout, as well as different poster presentation sessions. So it's a day-long event. The day before or the night before, there's a reception. Again, this is Florida institutions, so all the big schools as well as some smaller institutions as well. And so like I mentioned, there's an abstract submission deadline and then there's a registration deadline. If you apply for funding through our office, we'll cover registration, and we'll take care of that for you. So, again, it's one of the largest multidisciplinary research conferences in the U.S., open to all undergraduate researchers. It is poster presentations only. And like I mentioned, there's networking opportunities, and there is a graduate fair that runs throughout the entire event. Like I mentioned, there's different workshops and development sessions. Again, it's going to be hosted by UNF for the 4th time. And this is just kind of what some students said about the event last year, or this last year.
I'm a pre-law political and economics student. My name is Daniel Wan. I am a biology major.
My name is Daniel Lebreau. I'm an international relations major.
I presented a project titled Assessing the Impact of North Carolina Teen Corps on Recidivism. I am presenting on electropilot spinning up water to create hydrogen and oxygen gas.
Today I presented linguistic contact between Quechua and
It's been tremendous so far. The diversity of different projects and people that are presenting here is just extraordinary. So it's super cool meeting all these different people. My first experience has been great. I love going to different people and like talking to a poster, especially different universities. I get a little taste of what they do, and it's kind of like me stepping in their university.
done pretty well. We've seen a lot of cool projects, and even ones that are kind of outside of my scope of understanding. I'm international relations, so anything with that is kind of like meh, a little bit. But a lot of these people are very good at describing concepts that are very complex.
Cool. So yeah, as you heard from the students, it's a great way to kind of develop again those skills that we talked about. And here. And so you don't necessarily have to have for this conference like a finished project. It could be ongoing. We oftentimes take some Europe students that have done, quite a bit of research within their project, as well as, of course, honors in the major students, students that have gone through like Global Scholars, IDEA grants. So each year we're able to fund around 50 students that get full travel funding. So that's hotel. We take a charter bus and registration, but we do also offer registration only conference funding. So for example, we've had some students that have family in Jacksonville or family in Tampa, where it was last year. And so if you're, comfortable staying with them and then just attending the conference, that's available for you as well. And again, we kind of cover the registration process on our end. So the process goes, you submit an abstract to UNF to be able to get accepted to present at the conference. You apply for travel funding, whether that's full travel funding or registration only. We do offer poster printing. So once you've had your poster, you design your poster, we'll go through and print them all out. If you're traveling with us, we'll load all the posters up in the bus for them to be ready for you when we get to UNF. If you're registration only, we'll have them ready for you to pick up. And like I said, we don't have the application yet from UNF. Once they publish their application, ours is going to pretty much mimic what the language that they have. So definitely follow us on Instagram or keep in touch through LinkedIn, because we'll be sending out that information right when it becomes available. Because there is kind of a quick turnaround to get all that done. Like I said, if you want to just check the UNF website, they have important dates. They'll have a schedule up once we finalize, presenters and all of that. And then they'll have workshops that'll be presented. So FERC is a great chance to kind of introduce as your first conference, it's great because you're able to attend different poster sessions. You have to decide, which workshops you want to attend, what posters you want to visit. Do you want to talk to graduate programs as well? So it's a very busy, it's a lot of information all packed into one day or 1.5 days, but it's very rewarding and you get a lot out of it. So if you haven't gone to FERC yet, I definitely recommend you apply. Just keep an eye out for all those dates. We'll be sending that out quickly. And then we also have our undergraduate research symposium. Like I mentioned at the beginning, this is an annual event. One of the nation's largest. Last year we had I think around 650 student presenters. And this takes place in the student union. It typically runs 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. With poster sessions hour-long poster sessions with 15 minutes in between. And so, you're definitely welcome to apply every year. And this year we're still nailing down the dates, but it's typically around April 1st. And we do offer they're poster presentations, but we do also offer creative presentations as well. We have a nourishing creativity portion of the event where we've had students perform or do musical performances or display their art. So we do welcome that kind of creative aspect of it as well. And that application will open probably early spring. And so you'll have the opportunity to apply if you're interested. And then lastly, I wanted to talk about some conference tips. So again, just touching on that networking aspect, part of the importance of going to conferences is being able to really network yourself. So coming up with a pitch, not only about your research, but about, who you are as a researcher, being able to introduce yourself, being and engaging with others. And, again, it allows you a chance to explore different posters, talk to other students during break, and attend graduate school fairs if they have them. But again, it really puts you out of your comfort zone. So even when we're attending professional conferences, I have to keep in mind that, I need to network. This is helpful for me and, really important, an important part of the conference experience. And then I kind of mentioned with FERC, you have to kind of manage your time, right? So with FERC, for example, there are workshops happening at the same time. You'll have to, decide, I want to attend this workshop. I'll have to, sacrifice not attending that workshop. Prioritizing key events. Making sure you have time to practice your presentation, whether that's rehearsing in a hallway or something like that. Just making sure you plan your time. Because especially during FERC, that time just flies by. You're like, oh, it's posted session 1, and it's posted session 5, and we're about to leave. But definitely things to keep in mind is planning your time. And then taking notes. So for a long time, I was like, oh yeah, no, it's all gonna stay in here. And then, we get home or get on the bus, get into the hotel room, and I'm like, oh no, that was too much. That was information overload. So making sure you take notes, whether that's on your phone, just jotting down. If you get any contact information from other student presenters or faculty, research mentors, definitely jot that down. Some students have used LinkedIn to make those connections, so definitely keep that in mind as well. But I really recommend taking notes. A lot of these conferences too will give you kind of a little notebook as a little gift or whatever. So take advantage of that as well. And then lastly, you want to reflect and follow up. So you're making these connections, you're talking to different students. When you get back, it might be easy to just, oh, well, I attended it, it was fine. But definitely follow up on those, with those contacts. Send an email, say, hey, we chatted at FERC or we talked at Meeting of the Minds. can we set up a quick Zoom call or something like that? Or can we, connect on LinkedIn? So definitely follow up with that. And then just an overall of like sharing your research. Of course, we talked about some on-campus opportunities, so campus-wide symposiums. Also look into any departmental symposiums, as well as national, state. For example, for state, we have FURC, we have symposiums at the Capitol. We do also, there's a national conference for undergraduate research. So that application we'll send up as well if you're interested in applying. That'll just be kind of like a larger version of FERC. And then any professional or academic conferences in your field. This is kind of this is something you would discuss with a research mentor. They would be more knowledgeable about what academic conferences are available for you. And then we do also have some undergraduate research journals. So if you once you're done with your project, if you want to put it, down or write it down on paper, you can submit that to the OWL. And no, they're still working out some kinks in the OWL application. But last year they published 5 papers, all different topics. So definitely keep that in mind, as well as any other peer-reviewed academic journals. We at the Florida Undergraduate Research Association host the Florida. Let me put it up here. We through the Florida Undergraduate Research Association, we also have the Florida Undergraduate Research Journal. So it's a journal devoted to the publication of undergraduate research. Each year, positions open for you to come on as an editor. So if you're interested, definitely keep an eye out. We had great representation as far as FSU students on the board. I think we have them here. And they list the review process, the submission criteria. Again, they have the editorial board. And
Here we are.
yeah, there we go. So we had quite a few FSU students on the 2026 board. So if this is something you're interested in, definitely let us know. We can send over more information. Typically, we have applications or more application information around the time of FERC. So around like February, March. But another thing to keep in mind. And then lastly, I wanted to talk about some other events that we'll be hosting. We're hosting the 2025 President's Showcase of Undergraduate Research Excellence. So these are students that receive funding through IDEA grants. And then IDEA grants is, our application is actually open now. So if you have a project that you want funding for, that deadline is February 1st. You still have plenty of time to apply. You do need to be doing research over the summer. And so then you'll come back in the fall semester and you'll present at the President's Showcase. So if you want to scan to RSVP, that event will be on Thursday, October 23rd, 5 to 7:30 in the Student Union Ballroom. There's some really interesting projects this year, I mean, every year, but we'll have poster presentations and then we'll have creative sessions as well. So, we offer funding for all kinds of projects. So definitely look into IDEA grants if you're, wanting to get funding for that. Like I mentioned earlier, we'll be hosting Fall Research Day. That'll be November 19th. Timeline still to be announced, but if you're interested in attending, we'll also be sending out that link as we nail down our presenters. We also have a specific grant for students that are doing research abroad or research that requires them to travel abroad. That's through the Tyler Center for Global Studies. And so they're hosting a virtual summit. We have, I'm not sure specifically how many FSU students received it this year, but it's somewhere around like 8 Tyler Fellows. But we also have students from these other institutions. So they'll be hosting their virtual summit because we want to see what some FSU students are working on and what students at UC San Diego or Don Hopkins are working on, definitely tune in, to the virtual summit. That'll be November 20th, 4 to 6. And that is all the information we have. If you want to stay connected, be sure to follow us on LinkedIn, or if you have a Facebook too. We're also on Instagram. That's where we post a lot of our stuff. And then all the applications are also in our link tree. So if you want to scan for our link tree, we have that in there as well. Our newsletter is also a great way to get information. We send that out every 2 weeks, with different deadlines and stuff like that. So, let me put it back up. So yeah, any questions? Anything we can answer?
Anything we didn't cover?
Anything we didn't cover?
I know that I'm sorry, go ahead. No, it's okay.
That's for like the specific conference, or is there a way to get funding to attend other conferences like within your discipline from like honors or from the CRE?
Yeah, so we do offer, let me pull it up.
Nice.
Guess I'll type it all out. So these are kind of the two we talked about. So that's specific funding to travel to those specific conferences. We do also have an arts and sciences grant. That's unfortunately only limited to arts and sciences students. But it's funding for you to travel. It's up to $500 to cover the cost of either registration for conferences, or other costs. And then they do need to, the art sciences specifically needs to be submitted 6 weeks prior to the conference. And then if you have any questions, let's see if again can answer those questions for you as far as like what specifically they'll cover through that grant.
I did not cover that Meeting of the Minds is paid for. I know that since it's here, it's local, there's minimal cost involved. We still cover your food and everything else, but any other year that there's travel involved in the Meeting of the Minds, your flight, your hotel, your food, it's all covered. So once you're accepted, it's all covered for you. So you don't have to apply for separate funding for that one. It's taken care of. I forgot to mention that. I assumed because it's local, but it's every year it's covered.
Yeah, last year was the University of Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, and then before that it was at Notre Dame, and before that it was Virginia Tech. So it moves around every year.
Any other questions? Well, thank you again for attending this workshop. Like I said, I'll be sending out the slides and everything, so you have that. And then if you have any questions about any of the applications, feel free to reach out. You'll have my email once I send out the slides. But yeah, if you need help with, you have a question about the application, there's any glitch in the application portal or anything, we're happy to answer that. If you want us to look over any essays or statements that you're providing, we're happy to do that as well and give feedback. But yeah, thank you again, and hope you have a great rest of your afternoon. I hope it doesn't start pouring too soon. But yeah, like I said, we'll keep in touch. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, or sign up for our newsletter. Yeah, any questions in the chat for us? And I'll just keep this up. Cool. Well, thank you all.
Wait, I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
If we already got like the FURC travel grant last year, are we at like a disadvantage to get it again this year?
No, you're welcome to apply. Just depending on the amount of applications that we receive, we might have to, if you already presented at FURC, you might just be offered the registration funding. But yeah, no, don't let that deter you from applying to FURC again.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Awesome. Any other questions? I'll leave this up for our online people. Cool. And I'll send out the recording too if you want to just hear me yap again. All right. And then we do have flyers if you want to just make a flyer to remember that scratch paper. Are you all for the most part honors in the major or? Okay, awesome. What projects or what topics?
I'm in psychology.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm doing like a social thing.
nice. The psychology ones are always really interesting.
It was cool. I saw some of my friends in the video.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I do art.
Oh, cool. Yeah, the history ones are always surprising too. I'm like, I had no idea.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah.
I've been enjoying it.
That's nice. Yeah. Honors in the Major is a great program.
It really is.
So I feel like you really get to dive into like your specific interests and, you know, you get that, I mean, the pretty much like an intro course into like graduate, right? So,
Yeah.
but, yeah. And what did you,
I mean, neuroscience.
neuroscience? Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, yeah. Well, we look forward to potentially reading your application. And yeah, any questions, just email me. Yeah, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.